Hello Year 2 and welcome to Wednesday's English lesson. And for your starter today, we're going to be filling in phoneme frames. So these are frames to spell the words in, and the shape of the boxes give you a little bit of a clue about what letters might be going in them and how many. So this first one, we've got a lovely picture of a street in Eastleigh, and the word I'd like you to have a go at spelling is roads. Can you have a go at spelling roads? Pause the video now, please. Okay, let's have a look at it together. Just going to make my writing big enough. Did you spell roads like this? We've got the R, O, D, S, roads. Well done if you got that one right. So we had the nice big long box for the O because it was 2 letters, and a tall box for the D because it was a letter D. So there are a few clues there to help you. Oh, so this is a long word. Think carefully, but again, we've got some wider boxes here which would suggest probably 2 letters for those sounds, and a very tall box here which I think probably means a letter that's a tall letter for that sound. So can you have a go at writing the word railways? Railways. Pause the video now. Okay, let's have a look together. We've got the R at the front, then we need an A. A, R, A, L. Oh, that's that tall letter. L. There's the rail. Now we need to do the ways. W, W. There's the W. A, W, A, S. S. Railways. R, A, L, rail, W, A, S. Ways. That's an interesting word, railways, because it's got that A sound in it twice, but spelled differently. A here is spelled AI, and A here is spelled AY. And finally, and this is a really tricky one, I want you to think very carefully about this one. It's got a really tricky sound in it. Buildings. Now the good news is the tricky sound, the box might give you a clue that it's not as easy as you think it might be. And it's this box here. Ask yourself why that box might be as big as it is. Buildings. Have a pause now and have a go. Okay, let's start off then by thinking of the sounds in the word buildings. B, I, U, D, I, N, G, S. B, I, U, D, I, N, G, S. Some of those sounds are easy. We've got the S, that's easy. The U is easy. And the D. And then probably, I think, the ing part, you all know really well, and you wouldn't have too much of a problem with getting those sounds, I hope, most of you. Just put those in the middle. So that leaves this I sound. Now you might have gone B-I. That's how you would normally spell the I sound. That's a very big box just for one letter. And that's because there's a silent letter in here. It's a very unusual spelling of that sound. It's got a U in it. Buildings is actually spelled like this. B-U-I-L-D-I-N-G-S. So if you're writing that word, don't forget that extra U. Well done if you got that right. Okay, so just to remind you, we are working towards, at the end of this week, writing a text type that is a poem about the railway in Eastleigh. Our audience is children in Year 3, and the purpose of our poem is to make the reader feel interested and excited. And we have been working our way down this road thinking, what would you see from a railway carriage in Eastleigh? And on Monday we looked at this part. We were thinking about using interesting vocabulary to describe what you can see in Eastleigh. Then yesterday we did some work on rhyming those words. rhyming some words that we could see in our poem. Let's have a look at what we're doing today. So today we are moving on to write sentences using expanded noun phrases. And there it is on our road. I can use expanded noun phrases. So what am I looking for today? There are 3 parts to our Wilf, and we're going to go through each part one at a time in this presentation. I can use expanded noun phrases to describe what I can see out of a train window. I can find pairs of noun phrases that rhyme. And the challenge today is I can extend my noun phrases with adverbs and verbs. So let's start off by thinking about this one. I can use expanded noun phrases to describe what I can see out of a train window. Well, here are some of the pictures we've been looking at this week. And I want you to start off by having a look at those pictures, maybe pausing the video for a minute and thinking back to what we did on Monday. What things can you see in those pictures? So to start off with, just think about the things that you can see. Okay, and hopefully you've got a list of lots of different nouns. On Monday, we had things like station, railway, bridges, train, tracks. You could have signs, cars, traffic lights, shops, buildings, roundabouts, trees, cows, rivers, sky, grass, houses, roads. Those are all nouns. And do you remember, we've done this lots of times now, thinking about noun phrases. Noun phrases are when we use adjectives to describe those nouns. So the roads are narrow, busy roads. And we've got some railway tracks. We might use the word rusty to describe the railway tracks. And rather than just saying trees, we might use green and leafy as adjectives to describe the trees. So these are examples of noun phrases. Narrow, busy roads, rusty railway tracks, and green leafy trees. So adjectives followed by nouns are called a noun phrase. In Eastleigh, I could see narrow, busy roads, rusty railway tracks, green leafy trees. So let's look at the second part on our Wilf, because we're not just making those expanded noun phrases of what we could see out of a train window. Now we're going to have a go at finding pairs of noun phrases that rhyme. So let's go back to my noun phrases. We've got to think of some noun phrases that we can rhyme with the ones we've already got. Remember, the last word of the line is the word that needs to rhyme. And if you remember from yesterday, it's the end part of that word that needs to rhyme. So let's start off by looking at narrow, busy roads. So I've added an extra roads underneath because we need to think of a word that's going to rhyme with roads. So what could we change that first sound to be? We still want the word to finish in odes. Let's think of our letters of the alphabet. Bodes, codes, dodes, fodes, goads, hodes, jodes, codes, loads. I suppose there would be, we could have some lorry loads. Oh, I quite like that. A lorry load is what you would find on a lorry. So I'm going to want one of my adjectives to be lorry. What could I have as my other adjective? Narrow, busy roads, something lorry loads. I think I'm going to go for huge lorry loads. That means really big. That'd be lorries full of things. Huge lorry loads. Now, did you notice there's only my nouns that need to rhyme? Roads and loads rhyme. Narrow, busy and huge lorry don't. But if you listen to me reading them, you can hear that those two lines rhyme now. Narrow, busy roads, huge lorry loads. So it's only the noun part that needs to rhyme. So let's look at my next one. Rusty railway tracks. What could we rhyme with tracks? Backs? I don't think we can really see many backs from Eastleigh, or maybe you can, but you wouldn't talk about them. Sacks, packs, I'm struggling with this one. Maybe I need to change my word. Could I change tracks to something different that's easier to rhyme? What's another word for a railway track? A railway. Oh, what about railway lines? Yes, I think there might be some more words. So again, I'm going to need to go through and think of words that rhyme with lines. So I might want to get my alphabet back from yesterday. So binds, kinds, dines, finds, gines, hinds, gines, kinds, lines, mines. No, I haven't seen any mines in Eastleigh. Nines. Pines, the trees. I suppose I could do pines. Let's keep thinking. Quines. Rhines. Signs. Oh, signs. We actually had some traffic signs in one of our pictures. Now, signs is not spelt with the same sound spellings. It's a funny spelling. Sign. Sign. I need to make it plural because lines and sign doesn't rhyme completely, but lines and signs does. So I need to have rusty railway lines, something, something signs. What sort of signs are there in Eastleigh? Well, they're road signs. So I could use road as one of my adjectives. Something road signs. What are the road signs like? Some of them are a bit dirty. I think I'm going to go with grubby. That's a better word. Grubby road signs. Musty railway lines, grubby road signs. Yes, I like that. Okay, now for this last one, green leafy trees, it's your turn. Can you pause the video while I put my full stops back in up here and think of a word that rhymes with trees? Okay, I wonder what you got. Did you come up with bees, breeze, or something completely different? I think for mine, I'm going to do bees. What adjectives could I put with bees? Again, pause the video. Can you think of 2 adjectives to go with bees? While you've been thinking, I've been thinking too. I'm going to go with noisy buzzing bees. I wonder if you choose similar words or if yours was different. You might be able to use some of these ideas in your work today. Noisy buzzing bees. Now, this is hard work and it takes lots and lots of thought because you won't be able to find words that rhyme with everything. So it might be a case that you come up with an idea for a lovely noun phrase and you just can't think of anything to rhyme with it. If that happens, don't cross it out. Keep it because you might think of something to rhyme later on. You might decide in your poem later on in the week that not all of your noun phrases are going to rhyme. So don't worry if you have a few that you think, I just can't think of anything to rhyme that with. But hopefully, like me, you're going to be able to find at least 3 pairs of rhyming noun phrases. So I've got narrow busy roads, huge lorry loads, rusty railway lines, grubby road signs, green leafy trees, and noisy buzzing bees. Hopefully, if you've got an adult who's able to help you today, they'll enjoy thinking of some rhyming noun phrases to help you. Okay, so that's the main part explained. We're thinking about using expanded noun phrases to describe what I can see out of a train window and find pairs of noun phrases that rhyme. And I've got a minute before my video length is going to run out to explain the challenge, which is I can extend my noun phrases with adverbs and verbs. So we can add extra information, remember this from a few weeks ago, to noun phrases to make a sentence. In Eastleigh, I could see towering buildings, that's a noun phrase, but we could add standing proudly. What types of words are these? Standing is a verb and proudly is an adverb. Now remember, it's the last word of the line that rhymes. So if you have a go at the challenge, you're going to need to make sure it's your adverb that rhymes. And here's your sheet.